Let's start the presentation. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome my batchmates and our professor, Dr. Mohammad Mehdi Hassan Khan sir, to today's presentation. Today, my team and I am here to present the biochemistry of vitamin D. We'll discuss the biochemistry, metabolic activities, and clinical significance as well. I have titled this as the sampling vitamin because of its magical activation journey. We often hear that cholesterol is bad for our health. But what if I told you that without a specific chemical precursor in our skin, we would literally crumble? Using just a beam of UVV light, our body transforms a lipid into a life sustaining regulator. So, in this case, vitamin D is really unique as it is the only nutrition our skin can synthesize using sunlight and the cholesterol precursor. Now, what is vitamin D actually? Chemically, vitamin D is a sequesteroid. If you look at the structure here, it is almost like a steroid, but one of the ring is broken, hence its name is sequesteroid, and it is originated from the 7-dehydrocholesterol. This is the key link, as our professor mentioned in class, that cholesterol isn't just for our arteries, it is a very raw material for our bone health. There are two primary forms of vitamin D. It is one vitamin D2 or ergocalciferol and vitamin D3 or cholecalciferol. Which we get from plants and fungi. It is ergocalciferol, and the naturally occurring animals and human vitamin, it is called cholecalciferol. Cholesterol the vitamin D3 is generally more effective and it is regularly raising our systemic levels more effectively. And if we go to the metabolic activism, the activity of vitamin B3 is mandatory in two-steps hydroxylation process occurring sequentially. First is starts in the UVB rays convert into 7-dehydrocholesterol in cholecalciferol. Then it travels into liver and it becomes calcicidol. Calcicidol is the form that doctors measure in our blood test to check our status. Then it goes to the kidney, and it is the final most critical activation happens in kidneys, stimulated by parathyroid secretion. Then it becomes the master hormone that tells our gut to absorb the calcium and our bones to stay strong. Here is an activation flow chart. Here we can see that in step 1 that the 7-dehydrocholesterol is converted into cholecalciferol by the sunlight, and then it goes to the hepatic step 2 or hepatic hydroxylation. The liver converts vitamin D into calcidol, and then it goes to the renal activation part where kidney finalizes the process, and the result is biological activated hormone. If we say the major biological functions, the most the most famous role of the vitamin D is the calcium absorption or the gatekeeper of the calcium. Without it, the calcium we eat will be simply passes through us. Beyond the bones, it also plays a strong role in the immunity system by activating the T cells and enhancement of the muscle power, and it also increases the life cycle of our cells and maintains our heart health and assists in the blood pressure regulation and so on. Since our body cannot always rely on the sun, or especially in the winter, we need the dietary sources. Dietary sources like fatty fish, like salmon, mackerel, tuna, animal products like egg yolks, beef liver, and the fortified milks, etc. For the adults, or the overall, we need the 400 to 800 IU per day to maintain the peak health. Well, if the in the deficiency symptoms, we can see the fatigue, bone pain, slow healing, low mood in the deficiency of vitamin D. Even it can lead to the seasonal depression and cognitive fog chronically if the deficiency is so high. And if we come to the deficiency disorders of vitamin D, when the level drops dangerously low, we see severe clinical disorders. In children, we see the rickets, here in the picture we can see the leading bow legs to leading the bow legs we can see in the illustration. In adults it leads to the osteomalcia and eventually in the osteoporosis, as we can see that the bone, which is the osteoporotic bone, is very porous and it can be fragile like the glasses also. So in summary, vitamin D is much more to our cholesterol and our systemic health. So that's all my presentation. Thank you for your attention. We are now open for any kind of questions.
শেষের দিকের কথাগুলো শোনা যায়নি। যে তো তুমি বলো, আমার ক্ষেত্রে আমি প্রায় দেখি যে শনিবার আসলে আমার কোমরে ব্যথা করে, কি কারণ হতে পারে?
স্যার, ওই যে আমরা কি করি শনিবার কিংবা শুক্রবার এই দিনগুলাতে আমরা মানে ঘরের ভেতরে থাকি, তো যে কারণে আমাদের আসলে মানে রোদ